Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales Dirty Discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called the Blushing Bride, and the ingredients you need to make a bride blush: 1.5 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of strawberry puree or muddled strawberries, a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, and you're going to top it off with some rosé prosecco, and you're going to garnish it with a strawberry slice on the rim. I thought you didn't like strawberries. And this is how you're going to make it. You're going to shake your vodka, your strawberry, and your lemon juice with the ice, strain it into a champagne flute or a red cup, and top with some rosé prosecco, and that will give it the pink for the blushing bride. And that's a blushing bride. This is tasty.
Thank you. Welcome back to CockTales Dirty Discussions, you guys. I am Kiki Said So, or Kiara Walker, depending on how you found me.
I know that's right. And I am your girl, Medinah Monroe. Hey, y'all. It feels like it's been a minute.
It does, even though it really hasn't been that long. It's been like 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, not that long. And I don't like strawberries in my drinks, but this is a strawberry lemonade. There's no like muddled. I can't do the muddled.
I can't do the muddle either. It feels like it's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah, it's a texture thing. It starts to feel like blood clots and all kind of other things. So anyway, this week, you guys, we'll keep it short and cute on the announcements because we do have a guest. But I just wanted to remind you guys to make sure to always check the description box of every episode, everything about our trips, the links to those, anything that we're promoting, anything that we have going on, whether it's personally or together, will be linked in the description box below. And if I forget, y'all just send me a message and I will send it. Yeah.
They will. Somebody was like, well, the trip ain't in the description. It's in there now.
I didn't have the link and I got it now. And so we're gonna have that in there. I hope y'all have fun on your lover girl layover and if you're coming to Jamaica and all that good stuff.
Okay, you guys, so this week we have a very beautiful couple. You guys, we have Love and Fly Shit podcast, Jenna and Donay. How y'all doing?
We good.
Hi.
Yes, thank
y'all
you so
look in
much.
love and y'all look fly. Okay.
Thank you. Love and Fly Shit.
Is that why that's the name of the podcast? Because y'all are in love and y'all be looking fly?
I
guess so.
Yeah, Love and Fly Shit.
Like I ain't calling myself fly, but the people say it. So
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. So quick backstory. Me and Jenna were both at Chi-Chi's birthday party. And I saw her and she thought I was Kiki.
Yes.
And I was like, no, I'm Medinah. And I didn't know that we were trying to get y'all on the show. I was like, let's do it can you come Tuesday? She was like, you know what? Yes, we can. Chi-Chi's party was so much fun.
Yes, it was so cute. I love a good girl's day.
I love a good girl's day, but I also love that she was very strategic about her birthday party. She had it at the spa that her daughter just started working at. She's a licensed esthetician and she does brows, she does lashes. So she like invited everybody to come shoot content, get something done so you can spread the word so that her daughter can make some money and stop using hers.
That's right.
that's how you set them up.
That's how you set them up for success. All right, y'all. So we are going to play a quick game of I'm Curious to Know. Kiki and I created this card game so that couples could get to know each other because sometimes people struggle with speaking. So we're trying to help them out.
We don't struggle, but the game is gonna be fun. So let's get into it.
And it's a good check-in, even if you're in a long-term established relationship, because sometimes your mind changes, your mind gets open, and you think lots of different things. Okay, let's see. All right, I've got the first one. What's something that you used, and this is for both of you, what's something that you used to say you'd never be willing to try, but now you're curious?
Dang.
Oh,
Y'all just come right out with it, huh?
Oh, man.
Shoot. I'm curious.
And it could be anything. It could be like you never liked ketchup and now you about to try it.
I know what you're saying. That's still deep, though. I can't think.
Mine will be riding a motorcycle. Because, like, I love motorcycles and, like, I like how cool they look. I want to sit on it and have me a badass bike, but I'm scared really to get out here on the road and be between cars and shit like that.
Because people can't drive.
I know. They can't drive and you in a car.
Yeah.
Imagine being in a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Dang, honestly, something that I never really wanted to try, but now I'm curious. Oh, shoot. That is a good one. I really don't I can't think of nothing.
Can't think of nothing.
I'm like a YOLO type of person. Like you just do what you want to do when you want to do it. And so I feel like a lot of the things that I've been wanting to do, we already did a lot of stuff. But you know what? Honestly, I never wanted to like go camping. But because I was just like, why would you want to be out in the woods with the birds and the bugs and make a fire?
Bears.
But, yes, but now that I got 2 little boys,
You've been saying
You kind of want to go
yes,
camping
now
a
I'm
little
kind of
bit.
curious. Like, wait,
Yeah, and nature, I always say, right, nature does something to you. Even if you don't stay long, go have a little camp night. It's fun. Okay, I'm curious to know, what do you consider cheating?
cheating is what? Anything where you are having any kind of emotional connection or physical connection with another woman that is cheating.
That's saying to me, like any type of, any connection, whether it's physical.
Yeah.
I love how y'all are looking at each other like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like you better say the right thing. We didn't talk about this before.
Everything is,
You can't even cheat in your head.
And you looking too long,
So
you
we
doing
can't have
something
no
wrong.
work husband or work
That's what I was
wife.
saying.
No
Hell
work.
no, we
Hell
ain't playing
no.
that.
We ain't doing no work husbands. It's funny because we talked about that in the episode, how like you said it. You said that a woman will be fell in love with her damn work husband. You see
Yeah.
him all the time. You getting to know that person. You see them more than you see your own husband. So no, we don't believe
No.
in
None of that.
Nobody else gets that title except for me.
Yeah.
And I will never, ever, ever refer to anybody else as my husband, not with no kind of prefix in front of it. It don't matter what it is.
Have
gotta earn
y'all
that.
ever had one before?
What's that?
Before y'all, a work husband or a work
no.
wife?
No,
No.
you mean you mean younger on your player days? Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Any time in your life, not while you're married.
Not why you. She wasn't a work wife, but I'm saying, you know how you have
Yeah, a
what
little
you
flirt,
mean?
a little work
flirts
flirt.
at work. You like it stayed at work, like
Yeah.
Never.
That's my little shit at work.
She bring
you know
the
what I'm saying?
mail,
Yeah,
you
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
no,
She
You want
smile,
some
you know she
lunch?
like it.
Yeah.
I cooked last night. I
but
brought you some.
Yeah, I probably never curd outside the workplace.
think
But that's
it-
your little
no.
shit at work, though.
It would have had to been like when I had jobs in my teen years and my college years.
Baby,
and
stop playing. I remember I came up to your look. Check this out.
shit.
Me and your brother,
college?
look, we came to visit you one day. This was you was the campus director. You know what I'm talking about. Me and your brother come to. This old man bringing her dinner every day.
he
We and her
did,
brother walking. This man looking at us. But I'm like, damn, what we do to that man?
So
that was-
basically, I was the director of operations at a location, and he was the security guard, the night security.
Oh, and that was your
he was an
work.
older, like OG, triple OG, like
yeah,
got the
look
gold
at her,
chains
look
on.
at her.
And he would come up there every day and bring me soul food from these restaurants. One day he brought me some perfume. And
Perfume?
Oh,
To the level.
Right.
he was so sweet and nice to me though. But I had to get on him a couple times for being late to work, and we had a good working relationship.
No,
Long story short, my
Yeah.
brother and this was back before we even lived in the same city.
Yeah.
My brother and Donay came into town, and they met me at in my building. And it's so funny. As soon as they walked out of my office and he was sitting at the elevator, being the security guard, he was like,
Yeah, he was.
I know he was
who is
crushed.
these niggas she with? And it was so obvious that as soon as we got on the elevator, my brother and my husband, at the time he was just my
I was your
boyfriend, was like,
boyfriend, yeah.
I don't know what you got going on with that old man, but he was mad when he saw us. And it was just so funny because that old man, I don't know if he brought me no more food after that. He might have said,
Yeah.
this ain't working.
No.
I don't know which one of them she with, but it ain't me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was funny. But he was not my work husband. He was an employee.
Yeah. And she was getting
That's
you
usually
food.
how the work husbands go. They gotta be somebody's employee. Okay, next one. How important is sex in a relationship?
Oh, that's very important.
It's very important.
That's very important.
That's where the chemistry is
Yeah.
like really tested. Like I feel like sex is a level of intimacy that is required for the longevity of a relationship. Like
sure.
there's different ways you can be intimate, but sex is one of those things that is important in my opinion. And I think that's how you express like your passion and your love.
Sure.
So it's important.
Definitely.
That's how girl put it on me. I was dick whipped. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. That's how it all began.
Did y'all wait until you got married to have sex?
Oh no.
The way she screwed her face
I was like, damn,
Who
I
almost dropped that
There's no way. What if you waiting?
I just wanted to.
You marry somebody that ain't good?
I know, right?
No,
Then
we
how's
not.
that
You decided that was
conversation?
bad shit.
No.
Okay, this is my last one.
Okay.
I'm curious to know, how do you approach trust in your relationship? Did you start with it or did it have to be earned?
See, this is the thing. I think trust has to be earned, but I'm not gonna not trust you unless you give me a reason to. It's hard to explain But it's like you go through this period of trying to see like how a person move around, and then you learn them and you're wanting to trust them. But then, you know, sometimes people do things to betray that trust and then they have to earn it all over again. I feel like trust can be earned even if you lose it. So for us, I've never, ever, ever, ever given him a reason not to trust me. I really can say that. Have I ever?
Nah, you gave me so many reasons
I
to
keep
trust
it all real. Like, I'm just I got too much pride to lie. Like, it'd have to be life or death, gun to my head, or police or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to lie. I don't have a reason to. So, I expect people to do the same with me, but everybody is not always like that. So I've learned that sometimes you got to give people a little grace and, you know, a little bit of, I don't know, like forgiveness, even when they betray that trust. Yeah.
So kind of like you start at a neutral ground. And it's not that I fully trust you, but I don't distrust you. So we're going to see which way you move the needle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what about you?
Same thing, and it's just kind of like, and then also I kind of pay attention to how you move in your own life, and like the things you care about, what matter to you, and things like that. That's how I started to know what level of trust to give you. But like, she was always dope. She didn't give me no reason not to trust her, like, for sure.
I know that's right. Thank
That's
you.
beautiful. All right, y'all. If y'all want to play, I'm curious to know whether it's with a longtime boo, somebody new, or you just need to keep it in your purse, or girls' night even. You can head on over to I'mCuriousToKnow.com and order yours today. We're going to move on to weird sex real quick, and I have a short story to tell you guys, and then we'll be talking more love and fly shit.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. Man is absolutely not necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
All right, so this week's weird sex story is something that happened at a wedding. So these are weird stories that I find on the internet. Lately, people have been sending them to me. So this is one that somebody sent. They said a couple snuck away from a wedding reception to handle business in the bathroom. They thought they locked the door, but nope. The bride's aunt walked in, gasped, and then calmly washed her hands at the sink while they scrambled to get dressed. She left and never said a word to anyone, but at brunch the next day, she hugged them both, leaned in, and whispered, "At least you look like you were having fun." Now, obviously, this is the woman in the situation that wrote this in like it wasn't her. She's the one that was having sex at somebody's wedding, and the bride's aunt walked in. I would be so embarrassed.
I would be so embarrassed. Like,
but she seemed to understand. She's like, I get it. Y'all was having a good time in the bathroom. Could you imagine?
How she washed her hands? I would have went right back out.
But you know what? That's the signs that was a good wedding. That was a good wedding. Like everybody was having fun. It was an open bar the whole night.
The music is great. The people are great.
People was beautiful and fine. You had to just take one of the groomsmen to
Nobody is wondering how this happened. Everybody's like, oh, this is beautiful. Love is in the air. I love a wedding like that.
So do I. Wait, did y'all have a fun wedding?
Girl, wedding was all the way turned up.
Man, our wedding
I mean, so first of all, we got married in Miami. We had a destination wedding, but we didn't want to go too far away. So we went to Miami. We only invited 50 people. And we didn't invite like long lost cousins or aunties. Like we invited people that were a part of our relationship. Like people that were currently a part of our life. People that we knew supported our union. And we said no kids allowed. The only kids we had were like our close like nieces. They were flower girls. And I mean, when I say it was turned up, I mean, by the end of the night, everybody was drunk. They literally had to like put us out of the venue. And it was nice. It was a super nice hotel in Miami. I mean, it was so glam, but by the end of the night, we was all standing on the chairs and tables. The groomsmen all had their shirts off.
Y'all was lit.
Yeah, they had just the vest
liquor
on.
spilling bottles. It just
open bar. Everybody was drunk off Patron. What's the Patron?
Patron.
I don't know what it was.
Remy,
Got everybody messed up. We had top shelf liquor. So it was just a good time. It was the most turned up wedding you've ever been to. And we wanted it to be like that. We didn't want just like
it was a party.
A proper wedding. It started off real nice and glam, but then it ended kind of
lift that dress up and did a little twerking.
That's kind of wedding I want.
So
if it ain't like that, I don't want it.
Girl, so we missed our flight the next morning to go to our honeymoon. I don't know why I was set an early morning flight. That was silly. I woke up so late, drunk, missed the whole flight.
Where
Where'd
was
y'all
y'all
go?
Honeymoon Jamaica.
We went to Jamaica.
Yeah. Just a quick little flight to Jamaica that we missed.
Yeah,
So we spent a whole nother day in Miami
which was
recovering.
cool.
Yeah.
Recovering,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, we was recovering.
You need that.
Okay, so y'all been married for 11 years.
It'll be 11 years on September 27th. That's our that's our anniversary.
Happy early anniversary,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Does
Thank
it
you.
feel like 11?
So we've known each other since we were 15.
Yeah.
So the years just feel, it just feels like I've known him all my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 11 don't really feel like 11 because we've known each other for so much longer than that. But as far as like what we've accomplished in our marriage, yeah, it does feel like 11 years. It feels like we've been together for long enough to really build what, this amazing life for us and our kids. So yeah, I think, when I hear people that have been married for like 20 years, I'm like, oh my gosh, that seems like so long. But I feel like once we get there, it'll still,
It still don't feel like,
it
Yeah.
still won't feel like too long because we keep it so new and fresh. Like,
we kick it like
Yeah.
we really partners. Like we husband and wife, of course, mom
Yeah.
and dad, but like we partners. Like that's my best friend.
So do you think you guys always knew that you wanted to marry each other?
No, hell no. I didn't think I wanted to marry nobody. Like as a young
Really?
man, I definitely liked her. Like when I was a young man, she wasn't my girlfriend when we was 15, but
Yeah.
we played around and stuff
quit
like
saying
that.
that. We did not play around. I liked him, but he was too
He was
busy.
outside.
Yeah, he was outside. And so we didn't like hook up until we were like 25.
Yeah,
And so from then on, it was a wrap. We was like this, and we got married at 29.
yeah.
So no, we was not playing around, and I do feel like with us, even though we had some growing pains, as soon as we reconnected when we were 25, it was like I knew he was special. So
Definitely.
in my mind,
I knew that about
damn, I could marry him,
Mm-hmm.
but he definitely wasn't ready right away. Like it took
Yeah.
some years for him to, become a one-woman man and do what he was supposed to do.
And that's how,
So-
like, when we reconnected at 25, I definitely looked at her like that. I wanted her to be my wife. I wanted her to be my wife for sure. That's how I thought, even though I was, had to do some cleaning up in the house. And everything.
When a man is going through that and you have to do some cleaning up in the house, but you
Yeah.
know that you met someone that you want to be your wife, are you also nervous that you might lose her? Or y'all don't think
no,
like that?
like, with a man, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, with most men, like, that's your thought about everything. I could lose this. So that feeling is already there. So that feeling is down there normal. But I'm just trying to do everything I'm doing not to lose her. You know what I mean? Like, not like cleaning up quick as I can clean up, but of course, cleaning up with different women, it ain't easy.
What
Just
is the
close
cleanup
door.
process?
Huh?
Because I'm thinking you just end,
Hey,
what is the
some of
process?
It's no
them
cold
ain't-
turkey.
Some
What
of
the
them ain't
process
just
is.
finna let you in. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
They not just finna stop
What they
calling
gonna
and
do?
harassing and
So you could just not answer.
yeah, you cannot answer, but you talking about women, man. They
Sometimes
gon-
women can be a little bit cuckoo.
Yeah,
I have some friends who are like that,
cuckoo.
and it was a book that I actually just read in my book club. Women be crazy sometimes,
Hell
men too,
yeah.
and so you just never know. I do get
And
that
then I
part.
also
Girl.
like by her being like
Don't
she
be
ain't
giving
never.
him
No, I'm just saying no.
excuses.
I
Well,
ain't
y'all
no
in it
excuses
now.
like by her never doing nothing ever to hurt me. Never no type. I never had to even think about that kind of stuff. So I definitely ain't never wanted to ever come to her. You know what I mean? So. Keeping them away from her, so that's a whole nother fight. You know what I mean? So you got
You
to
did
clean
not
up.
win that fight.
You ain't gonna win those kind of fights. You think you can, but you can't. Most
Cause I
men.
definitely got some phone calls.
You know, you can't win them kind of fights. And if you don't
ones.
clean up, you gotta try to just clean up. And sometimes you don't clean up fast enough, and you get popped.
So
You
the
in trouble.
backstory is this: when we reconnected at 25, I actually had a boyfriend, and I had been with that person for a couple years. We up until maybe about 3 months before me and Donay got reconnected. We were living together, but my previous job, they moved me to another state, so I was living by myself at the time when I got reconnected with Donay. Long story short, mutual friend's house in St. Louis. We just was vibing. And I was like, damn, he is still fine. He's still the man. He still got swag. Like he was
Don't
that
you
guy.
love when you reconnect with somebody and they're still fine and
Girl.
they're single and you're
Or
like
better. Look at
yeah.
Girl, and I was like, damn, because I had the biggest crush on him in high school, and now we grown. I got a man, but I didn't care. See, I always say this: if you file single on your tax returns, you are single.
And that is true.
You
It
gotta
is.
look, live your best life. Figure out what you want. Don't be tied down to one person until they put a ring on it. So, long story short, we was just vibing one day. Next thing you know, we on the phone every day. I dropped my ex, literally completely dumped him within a month. didn't know Donay had no other situations. So I don't agree that you can't cut people off. I cut this man off, and we had been together for a couple years. He was probably on the verge of proposing. I would have said no, but it still, like, it was deep.
Yeah.
No.
Was he crazy?
Was who crazy?
The ex.
No, he wasn't crazy. He didn't do
That's
nothing
why
wrong.
you could do it. When people act like
Oh,
they
it's for
might
girls.
come after you, you know,
She making
I'm
sense,
telling
ain't
you.
Yeah, Kiki is
I
making
still
sense.
That's the
think
thing,
you
yeah.
can cut people
She's
off.
making
You
sense.
can
You
you
can
can
cut
cut
people
people
off. I
you
think
can
the-
cut people off, but I have seen firsthand. I didn't do it, but I done seen some of my homegirls do some real crazy stuff
That's
to
true.
the woman and not the man. And I'm the one that's like, you need to stop your issues with the man. This other woman ain't got nothing to do with it. You lost.
Yeah.
She wins. Leave it alone. What you want somebody that wants both of you for anyway, right?
What you want somebody that want you for?
Yeah.
Like a man
If
know
you
who
just
he
want
wants.
to
Yeah.
be with one
Yeah.
person. Now, when you cut him off, how did he take it? He cried.
No. I probably let him down a little bit easier than than what it could have been worse. Put it that way. I let him down easier than what I could have. Pretty much, instead of saying like let's completely end it, I was like, you know, I moved. We got a little distance between us. Maybe we just need to take a break.
He didn't know that break was forever.
Yeah.
Spinning crazy
But the irony of that is, me and him had previously had a conversation about if somebody takes a break, that means y'all broke up. So he knew what it meant. It was just the words came out of my mouth, and it kind of
were gentle.
It was more gentle, but he knew what it meant because we had already had this conversation before. Because we were talking about a situation where somebody else had that same exact, let's take a break. So he knew that meant we were broken up, and I made it clear that this means we're broken up. But it's not necessarily like have a nice life. But it really was kind of like that because after that I was with Donay, and I wasn't talking to him no more. Like, you know. And you know what though? In my heart of hearts, I wanted him to go find somebody who loved him the way I love Donay. I wanted him to.
I would be so mad if somebody told me that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did let him down.
Yeah.
Because imagine if somebody told you that. I want you to go find somebody that loves you the way that I love this other woman. Excuse me, bitch.
I will never. There was this guy that I used to love. We called him 6'8" Bay on the show, and when I was really distraught when it was over, and I didn't win. Well, I guess I did win because that nigga crazy. But he told me, I was crying and I was so sad, and he really took my face and he was like, "You're gonna be just fine." I was like, if you don't, who does this?
The audacity never goes out of style.
Like, and he really was. He was like, "You're gonna be just fine."
No, but I be believing people deserve to go be happy. Like I didn't. Why? There's somebody for you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. It's just funny because I'm thinking about being on the receiving end of that. You know what I love? When somebody is trying to upgrade their life. Or mine, or somebody else's. I just love upgrades. It is very exciting to me. It doesn't matter what it is. But I have had a few people in my life who are looking, either they bought a home, they moved into a new place, they got their first place alone, or, you know, maybe they've been complaining about their back and they finally listened to me and went ahead and went to brooklynbedding.com to get a new mattress. When you get a new mattress, that's the part of furniture that people don't really think so much about. Like when you're thinking about style and upgrading your home, a lot of times like, oh, the mattress is a mattress, right? And you're thinking about headboards and decorations and all the other stuff. No, you need to be worried about the quality of that mattress, okay? You want to have comfort. We have shared on previous episodes how important it is to do all of these different things for your self-care, massages, pedicures, the scalp thing, all these other things. The chiropractor. Okay, so when you're awake, you go to the chiropractor about your back, but what about when you're sleeping? When your back isn't lined up right, when you're putting too much weight in certain areas, your knees clanking together, you fighting demons in your sleep, or whatever is going on, that is just going to take a toll on you. I don't know about what y'all might be fighting in your sleep, but what I do know is if you do it on the Brooklyn bedding mattress, it's going to be a lot easier. And it's more cushion for the pushing. I'm telling you, that thing just feels luxurious. I feel like I am at like a very, very expensive hotel. It makes it so much easier to romanticize my night when I'm getting ready to get in the bed. And then you just sit down and the pillows and they're cooling because you don't want your head all hot.
Yeah.
Even if you want to be warm and cozy in the sheets that they have. I mean...
It feels good. Girl,
It's
my nephew
luxury.
took my pillow. He took one of my pillows. He was like, Ding, can I have this pillow? And I was like, yeah. I gave him one of my pillows.
Sweet.
Y'all, it's funny that Kiki talked about going to the chiropractor. I didn't even know this. I'm just now learning this, that Brooklyn Bedding is one of the few mattress brands that's endorsed by the American Chiropractic Association for spinal alignment and back health. And I didn't know that, but you can feel that. I sleep so well with I got the mattress. I had 2 pillows, but now I got one because my nephew took one. I have the pillowcases. I have the sheets. I really want to get one of the weighted blankets. It's just a great, like Kiki said, a great upgrade in a different way. Have you ever been to like your rich auntie's house and everything is great except for the bed?
Yes. I'd be like, what the hell is this? It's all this nice stuff in here, but I'm laying down in the guest bed. And when I wake up, I feel like I got beat up.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like that. Your sleep health is so important to your day. So if you guys, you want to try Brooklyn Bedding. And also, when they deliver it, I love it because it's just so easily packaged. It's one of those little rollouts. It's not a big old situation that you got to lug in. They compact it. It's in that little press pack thing. You roll it up the steps or wherever you're going to put it. Gift it to somebody. Christmas time is around the corner for real. So give somebody a mattress or gift yourself a mattress. You guys go to brooklynbedding.com and use our promo code CockTales at checkout to get 30% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. So you make sure you go to brooklynbedding.com and use code CockTales for 30% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know that we sent you. Again, that's brooklynbedding.com. Use code CockTales at checkout for a little gift from us. And now we'll get back to the show.
So can y'all think of a quality or like a situation or just something that was like the moment where you were like, oh yeah, this is the one? A defining moment.
I can think of a lot of moments, but I think for me, I'm gonna be honest. I was in love before we even had sex. Because
what is it that you love so much about him?
He would call me every morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Good morning, baby. First of all, he was calling me baby. He got game. I was like, stop calling me baby. I'm not your baby. But he was just putting it on me. You know what I'm saying?
He was my baby.
You know how you get those? You get those messages in the morning, and you like.
And you be thinking about it all day. Sometimes you go back to the message and just read it.
Yes. So basically, the way that we said I love you is we used to talk every day, all days. He'd call me literally like 7 o'clock in the morning. We'd talk throughout the day. And you have those conversations where you just like got butterflies and you smile from cheek to cheek, your face hurt. One day we just had this conversation. I don't remember exactly what the conversation was about, but I know that we had this weird like moment of silence. And it's like we felt the tension, like the chemistry over the phone. And out of nowhere he said, I feel like I want to tell you I love you. Yeah. And I was like, I feel the same way. And it was just this like, oh my gosh, it just went through my whole body. And I was like, I can't wait to see what that's like. So that's when I knew, that was the moment I knew the next time we see each other, it is going down. This is the man I've been crushing on since I was 15. When I see him, it's going to be one of them nights. And it was one of them nights.
It was one of them nights.
It was one of them nights. Girl, it was one of them nights.
I love that for
hooked
y'all.
ever since.
That's a good night. You feel it the next day when you're not even with them no more. You ever had that? You feel it in your body. You at work.
Especially because you already had the feelings before the sex. So the sex just gonna take it up.
Exactly.
A lot of notches.
There's nothing like chemistry. I'm not dating right now, so I'm living through your stories. Speaking of single life and married life, do married people ever secretly miss being single?
No.
Is there anything you ever miss from single life?
I definitely don't miss being single. The only thing that I could miss about being single is like when you have a man and kids, like there is no time to chill. Like there's always something to do around the house. Dang. Back in my single life, I could go to sleep at night and then clean up the kitchen in the morning. When as a married woman, I'm not leaving that kitchen dirty if I make dinner because I don't want him to see the kitchen dirty. So you just have more responsibility and you have somebody holding you accountable. So that's probably like literally in my head, that's the first thing that pops to my mind. Like when I was single, I could just, not have to worry about taking care of the house. But no, I don't want to be by myself. Like, I don't want to be without him.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, I was not one of those women that aspired to be married. Like, I was one of those women that aspired to have a good career, to eventually be a business owner, which is what we are now. We're full-time entrepreneurs. I never aspired to have kids and all that. Like, that was not what I saw for myself. I went to college. I went to grad school. I got an MBA. I was focused on me. So this life is not even what I necessarily planned out, but it's beyond my wildest dreams because of what we have together. So it's him that makes me want to be married. It's not marriage in itself. It's him.
You
And
like
so-
who you are married to.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which is important.
I said the same thing, like, cause I never like thought about just set out being married. Like, I just want to be married. But like, once we got together, like, I ain't think this, not me and you, but I'm saying I just didn't never know, like, you can meet one person and like, that's my person. So like, that's my person. I understand that when people be like, that's my person. Like, that's my person. So I don't see shit else. You know what I mean? Nobody make me feel the way she make me feel. The things we able to do together, the things we have done together. Like, that's my dog.
I know that's right.
I love to hear that.
I like hearing stories like that and how y'all talk about each other and look at each other. Now, when y'all were single, is there something that you can think of that you thought was true about marriage when you were single, but now that you are in the thick of marriage for many, many years, that you realize that shit was not true?
Right. Let me see.
Or maybe you
Probably- I
changed your
thought,
perspective on it.
Man, my shoes used to look cute on the ground all over the place. Now them shit say cute to she used to just pick that shit up. Now she kick my shit out the way.
So he said I treat him differently before. He's saying like before it'd be like, oh, I'll clean up after you. Oh, I love doing this. Now it's like, if you don't get them damn shoes off that floor, why do you leave it? Yeah, like why do you leave stuff in the middle of the floor? And that's because now I have 2 more of him running around the house doing the exact same thing. So yes, things are a little different. Like married life and mommy life will definitely cause you to not have that same attitude towards being of service as you were before, because you got to do it times 3 now. Like we got 2 little boys.
Yeah, no, I respect it.
Do you think that when kids came into the picture, there was a difference that you guys saw? Like, obviously there would be. A lot of times we talk about it on the show, but we don't have kids and we're not married. But we talk about how
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like women change.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're gonna go through postpartum. You don't know if you have a husband that's gonna support. And I don't mean like financial. I mean like actually be there and help you and deal with the hormonal changes and what you might be going through. Do you feel like you had that support, or was that one of your most difficult years when a baby came into play? Because that's when I start seeing marriages fall apart, when the baby comes.
So I definitely feel like he supported to the best he could. I feel like a man will never understand what it's like to birth a baby and postpartum. Like, postpartum is a real thing, first of all. When you are a woman and you have a baby, your body, your emotions, your whole mindset goes through so many changes that you cannot control. Like, you see yourself differently in the mirror. You see yourself differently as far as like your place in this world. Now you have a whole human who you just are connected to that is literally your heart outside of your body. It's tough to change your mindset. And the biological differences like that you have from a man is never going to understand that there are things that we can't control. Just like as a woman, like certain times of the month, you mad for no reason. You can't even control it. They will never understand what it's like to be in your head knowing I'm pissed off. I can't control why I'm pissed off. I can't stop being pissed off. It's just hormones. Now, when you have a baby, there are hormones that give you the same emotional roller coaster that you cannot explain or control. So I feel like a man can be supportive, but they're never gonna truly understand what we go through. And for him, he was always there. And he was always there for the kids. But like I was one of those like, I don't want to call them helicopter moms, but like I breastfed both of my kids for a whole year. So the baby was all up under me. Like by the time I had a baby, I was a housewife. I wasn't working anymore. He was holding it down and I was with the baby all the time. Then I realized how much I need to do something outside of just being a mom, because I thought, oh yeah, you have a baby. I want to be able to be home with the baby all the time. I realized that, yeah, this is good for the baby, but as a person who's used to like having a life and having a career, this is not necessarily end game for me. Like I need more out of what I'm doing. And so, yeah, I think men can be supportive, but I also think that as a woman, you just have to understand that there are going to be some things about your body that you can't even really explain. And you got to go through those feelings, go through those emotions, and then just do your best to give yourself grace. You know what I'm saying? That's what I had a problem with, because I'm so used to like doing everything the way I want to do it and having control over everything. But then when you go through that and you have a kid, you can't control everything. You got to learn to not be so hard on yourself when things don't go the way you plan them to go.
Did you have help? Like, did you ever hire help, like a nanny?
Yeah,
or something?
we had a nanny eventually.
Okay.
But see, since we're here, like our parents are in St. Louis, our whole family is there. So I didn't hire a nanny for a couple years. So it was really just me. And I didn't have, most people got their mama coming over, they whatever, their aunties. I had nobody. Yeah, I have nobody
it was really
to show
just
me.
you.
Yeah, it was really just me and him.
Yeah.
Like we don't have any family here. Everybody's still in St. Louis. So with that being said, there's a lot that I had to learn by making phone calls. Like, when a baby does this, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? And you can freak out.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you don't have anybody physically there with you. And it's so funny because he used to act like he knew everything about babies.
I did,
and I'm
man.
like, how do
Did
you
you read a book?
No,
No,
girl.
just
You're an older
been around.
sibling?
No, I'm the youngest.
No.
I'm the youngest, but been around my grandma,
youngest.
mama, sister. Just
No, I swear, I'd be like, oh my gosh, baby did this. And he would have this explanation. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know? And then he would get mad because I'm like, questioning him,
my
but
grandma
you don't
was
have
telling
no
me
credibility.
this.
Right.
Man,
It's
my
like, I gotta
grandma,
question
I
the
learned
baby.
this
It's
from
the
my
whole
grandma,
baby.
man.
So he would, I'm the one that will overreact to stuff. And he's the one to think he got the answers. And I'm like, also the person that's very you got to show me where you got this information from. What's your source?
Cite your sources.
She freaking out and asking all of that. I'm trying to feel like, you gotta do it. Baby, what did you learn that from? Babe, just do it.
To this day, it happens. If my son come and say, "Mommy, my tummy hurt," I'm like, "Oh my gosh, let me see. Are you sure?" And he's like, "He okay?
Yeah.
He all right. He got to use the bathroom." Girl, I'm rushing him to the ER.
That's why
She
you
ready
need the
to go
mama
to-
and the daddy. Because the dad dude just be like, they all right, the baby choking. Okay.
Right? Yeah, right.
Was there ever a point where y'all were getting advice from outside people, like maybe your family or your family?
Oh, we don't
and
do that.
No.
Y'all
We
were
don't
They
just
play
say that's the
upset?
key to a successful
Yeah, we
marriage.
don't even
keep
play
everybody
that.
out
I
of business.
don't tell. You don't even understand my woman for me to be talking to you about her. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna ever speak.
Just with the parenting part.
No. Oh, the parenting? Oh.
Just the parenting part. We'll get into the rest later.
Yeah, I thought you meant was he getting advice?
No,
for
like
us
how
I
you were
married?
saying your grandma told you certain things. Were you ever like, she don't know?
No, well,
always
that damn
call my
knew what
mama
she was saying.
I do have an in-law section on here because that also can
That
be
damn
like
knew what she was saying. I got all
silent
that
killer.
information from my granny,
Yeah, I
man.
call my mama every time. Yeah, she got 3 of us. So.
I gotta check
Yeah.
somebody else. You can't cite this source. Let me call my own mama.
Yeah, she wasn't taking
He
nothing
don't
out.
be having no
Nah.
sources anyway. My sister, when she was raising her. You wasn't raising her. You don't know for a fact.
What do you guys think some of the silent killers of marriage are? Like stuff that can erode a relationship slowly. Resentment, withholding sex.
I say
Bad communication.
communication, resentment, and sex. Yeah.
You don't think lack of appreciation? I think lack of appreciation can
Yeah,
really
definitely,
show its
definitely,
ass.
Yeah, lack of appreciation. Everybody needs appreciation.
And I also think that people also need to know that in relationships, you might experience the lack of appreciation, but how do we communicate it? And can we get better?
Yeah.
Like you might not know that the person isn't feeling appreciated.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you guys do to show appreciation to each other?
I mean, every day I'm
Every
telling
day.
him, dang, I appreciate everything you do. You know, I can't do what you do. I tell him how fine he is every day. I mean, it's just verbal communication every day. And then, when it's Father's Day or birthday, it's always like a small, thoughtful thing. Because when somebody already got everything, it's not about the big grand gestures. It's about the thoughtful things like, you said you want to go to Dubai 5 years ago, let's go to Dubai for your birthday this time. Or you need a new jewelry box, here's a custom jewelry box. Like,
sure.
it's
Those
like,
are small things?
Well,
Okay.
You thought she meant a card?
Or like socks with my face on it. Like that's a small thing. She said Dubai. Like, okay.
The jewelry box is smaller than Dubai.
It is, but she's also said custom. So it sounded a little not
Because he got the good jewelry.
Okay,
You gotta meet him where he at now.
Okay, so we do gifts, we do
gifts.
verbal,
Yeah.
let me tell you what I appreciate.
Was there ever a point where y'all felt like, and this is for either of you, you felt like you were showing appreciation or showing love and the other person didn't see it because maybe you didn't realize y'all are showing each other, but in different ways that you didn't notice? So like maybe you do a bunch of acts of service for him and he's buying you a bunch of gifts, but you don't want gifts. You just want him to take out the trash every day without a reminder or something like that. Did y'all ever have that going on?
Yeah,
for sure.
And that still go on.
Yeah, for sure.
Never died.
Yeah.
Good on, yeah.
Yeah, I think we share some of the same love languages, but I think in his situation, the way he shows love, it is different from sometimes what I would want him to show the love and the appreciation. But it's all about communication. Like nobody can fix something that's wrong if they don't know they're doing it, right?
Exactly.
So I will call it out like almost immediately if I feel like he doesn't appreciate it. Like I tell him, like when I get dressed, when you see me, don't do nothing other than tell me you look so good. Like look at me and tell me you look so bad. Oh, baby, look at you looking all good. Don't wait 5 minutes because then I'm going to feel like I didn't get the full effect of what I was trying to make you feel. So, like, that's an example of, like, for me, I want you to appreciate me getting dressed for you because I'm doing it for you. At the end of the day, like, I know I look good, but I want you to say I look good. I want to feel like that's coming from you.
Yeah.
So, like, little things like that, I feel like as a man, sometimes he might think it in his head, but he don't say it out loud, but I want to hear you say it. Like, I want to know that this is how I'm making you feel when you see me.
And I feel like you clearly said that. You were like, don't do it again.
Yeah. No, she
Don't do it again.
Setting the timer in my
definitely called me.
head.
She
When I
called
walk
me
out
on
the
it.
room, I need the eyes poking out.
Yeah, if I miss a second, she on me.
Girl.
I mean, I get it.
Now, I always talk about vows, and people say, did y'all say vows at the
Yes.
wedding? Did y'all write them?
Yes.
Okay, and was for better or for worse in there?
Well, I have,
Not verbatim, but
Okay.
we wrote our own.
I have
vows.
wrote, then I just like, I kind of just went off the heart, like straight off the heart with it.
Yeah, I wrote mine.
I had wrote something. I'm just like, man,
You just
went off the-
freestyle.
Yeah.
He freestyled. It was good though.
Well, since you said something meant for better or for worse, I'm always like, we say for better or for worse in the vows, the people say it, and you don't really know what the worst might be.
Yeah.
And if you're going to actually stick around for it, at the rate of divorce, people are not sticking around for the worst or the better. So do you guys feel you've experienced any worse yet or something that could be a worse? And if you did, how did you check it? How did you decide, like, no, we're going to stick through this?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
the worst can always get worse, but
Right.
yeah, we've had
yeah,
challenges in our relationship for sure.
for sure.
Do you guys tackle it with therapy, or do y'all have like some sort of guide that you guys have together to get through the rough times? Because marriage is not what I'm hearing. Again, I'm not married, but it seems like it's more rough than it is.
No. Why would it be more
See,
rough than it is?
The people be getting divorced. I'm looking at the numbers.
I be thinking
I
people
don't
getting
know.
married for the wrong reasons or to
That's
the
the
wrong
problem.
people.
That's a good
Okay.
point.
Like, this is my partner. Like, I can really communicate with her. Like, even can take what she say that I'm doing wrong and take it. Like, I'm not getting mad about it. I'm like, okay, let me correct that.
You can hear.
Even if I don't tell her, like, I gotta correct that. You know what I mean? So the fact that I care about not hurting her and listening to what she say, we correct each other. Like, so that's what I think. I think a lot of times people get married and don't really know who they really married to. You know what I mean?
Or they know, but they choose to overlook the things that really should be deal breakers for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you get married for the right reasons, it really makes a difference in how long you're gonna last.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think with us, because we have this just undying love and affection and appreciation and respect for each other, no matter what we go through, we always know that we're always coming from a good place and a place of support and a place of like, I want the best for both of us. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
some people, like, you have whole relationships where people don't even really like each other, where people are jealous of each other. Like, a man can be jealous of a woman and vice versa. Like, that's crazy, right? But that happens in relationships. But because we are a team and, you know, my wins are his wins and vice versa, like, my losses are his losses. Like, we feel like we in this together and we approach everything as a team, not like we in competition or, you know what I'm saying? Or like, I don't appreciate his contribution to whatever we got going on. So...
Can y'all think of any like little things that maybe couples who are dating or even people who just aspire to be married overlook that are actually a really big deal? Like y'all mentioned already, having good communication and telling each other when it's a problem. Don't be sitting on it waiting forever. You speak up, right? What are some things that people are doing that you think might be leading to them marrying somebody that they shouldn't have really married?
That's a good question.
well, first of all, you know, some women get married for money.
Well, yeah.
Some men get married because the woman is a trophy wife, visually or whatever. I think that some people get married because it's convenient or because they settle and they don't want to keep on looking for that right
It's
person.
their bucket list.
Yeah, yeah.
They want to be married.
Yeah.
They don't care who it is.
Yeah. What you think?
I think not marrying a friend. They got to be your partner, man. Like, if you finna really marry somebody and be with them for rather the rest of your life or for a long amount of years and get to sharing all these things together, they got to be your friend first. Like y'all got to be real partners. Get to really know each other. And I think if people spend more time doing that than just trying to find things that look good together or make sense or whatever, some of the reasons that people do it, I think we'll have more successful marriages out here.
How long did y'all date before y'all got married?
So we reconnected when I was 25. We dated. I mean, he proposed when we were like I was 27. We got married at 29.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
About
would
3
say,
years.
Yeah, about 3 and a half.
About 3,
years.
yeah.
So we were only engaged for like a year.
But we
and
was
a half.
already friends, like I say, since we was
Yeah.
since
Y'all already
we
had a
was kids.
rapport there.
Yeah.
Y'all knew each other.
Yeah.
And how old are y'all's babies?
9 and 6.
Ooh.
2 boys.
2 boys and one little guy.
They 2.5 years apart.
That's how
Do you
far
want more?
apart we
Girl,
are.
no.
No.
You were serious.
Very
2
serious.
is enough. No, they keep me busy.
I
Yeah.
bet.
Girl.
So, okay, y'all knew each other for a long time and y'all were friends or y'all was partners. Like,
Yeah, that's
like,
my dog.
husband
That's what they
and
would say.
I mean, but we would flirt with each other. Like when I was still, even as a young boy, I would flirt with her. She'd flirt back with me, but man, she wasn't trying to kick it with the kid like that.
He was trying to smash and I wasn't a hoe. So that wasn't good enough for him.
He had her standards.
I had
okay?
standards, girl. And
were like,
he had none, okay? So with that being said, you know,
man.
I always saw him and thought he was so fine, but we
man.
never took it there until, like I said, we kind of fell in love with conversations. And then I was like, okay, it's all yours. Girl. It's all yours.
So when y'all did get married, even though y'all knew each other and had that rapport, were there still different things that you learned about each other once you got married? Like you kind of are like, oh, I didn't know you did that.
For sure. Even when
we lived together for about a year before he proposed.
Yeah, about
So
a year.
I think you learn something you learn
Yeah,
everything you need to know when you're living with somebody. Now, if like let's say if you marry somebody and y'all finances aren't combined, you might learn a lot about them in that way once you get married, because then everything really becomes one in most cases. But because even before we got married, we had bought a condo together. We had already kind of combined our lives to the point where I don't think it was nothing more to learn. Now I learned more about him when he became a dad, because then that was a whole different phase of life. And I saw how good of a dad he is, and I saw a different side of him, like a more sensitive, nurturing side of him. But I think I would encourage people to live together before they get married, because I don't know how you can just move in with somebody and then be tied to them for life, and then you find out they have all these bad habits or just ways about them that you wouldn't have seen if you weren't up close and personal. There's no way I'm gonna marry somebody without living with them first.
No way.
How y'all feel about that?
I would prefer to live with someone
Yeah.
first. Now, how early I live with them, I don't know. I think definitely if we're engaged, if I don't already live with you, I need to move in with you before we put deposits down on this wedding.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might end up having a very expensive party, and one of us won't be there.
No, that's for sure.
Because I would be the runaway bride. I mean, a groom might be the runaway groom. I'm not always the best person, so you just never know. But yeah, I think you should. I do think that living with somebody is very different. Even like having roommates over the years, like my friends that I had been friends with for so long, once we lived together,
Not your dog.
it was different. No, still my dog. I had one roommate, I had more than that. But one roommate that I had for a long time here in Atlanta, she doesn't live here anymore, but we're still good friends. There were things that would annoy me, of course, and I learned her better. And it's like, you can't have that mask that you have with people sometimes, but it still worked out. So I can only imagine what that would be like if I really lived with somebody. Oof. And I'd be thinking about like little weird things I do, like when I get gassy sometimes, and I might be a little embarrassed, but you got to let it all out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you gotta
You gotta let it out. And then how you do that? Because you're going to let it sit in your body and fester? Whew, Lord, no. What do you think, Medinah?
About living together?
Yeah.
I think that if we're engaged or heading there, then we could talk about living together. I think I've experienced living with 2 boyfriends, and I don't want to do it again.
Oh,
It was almost like, it's like we're just doing, because it starts to feel like you are married. It starts to feel like we are dedicated to each other. And then in the end, when it turns out you're not, it's like, I don't know that I would do that again. It's just, it's happened too many times where it's like, let's learn from our lessons. So if we already know and there is a ring and we are engaged, I'm totally fine with being like, okay, the next step is getting a place together. And Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, because I mean, once they put the ring on it, then I feel like
I mean, a lot could probably still happen, but
of course. But it's like, okay, you have proposed. Now I feel like the engagement period, you should know me well enough. You're ready to tie me down. So now it's wedding planning season, and that's what the engagement period essentially. We're just engaged to plan this wedding and stuff, and do all the back and forth.
I got a question for you, for all of you. So how long is too long to be engaged?
That's what I was about to say. It should be wedding planning season, but some people be engaged for like 5 or 10 years. Like I've seen.
I am too old for that.
I know that's right.
If I was in my 20s when I got engaged, maybe I could. 5 years still sound too long.
That's too long.
Because what are we waiting on? Is it the venue?
Is it the finances?
Is it that? Because it like I need a specific reason as to why we are waiting. I understand long engagements when you want this weekend, you want this thing, and it's just not available, so you got to plan out. But like, what the fuck we do? Why did you propose to me? Because if I say yes, I'm ready to go. We can do it today and have a wedding later.
But it's not always like that. I feel like some people say yes and they don't even have any intention of starting to plan the wedding. Like some people just. I feel like some dudes will put a ring on your finger as like a placeholder. Like, let me shut up real quick. But they know they ain't got to plan their wedding yet.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you are dating someone right now, you're having to beg your man about the marriage details and if he's gonna marry you. Don't you agree? It's probably not it. Yeah, he don't want to. Like,
I agree.
A man gonna let you know. A man gonna let that be known if you want to marry you. So you wouldn't have to be guessing and thinking.
And when are we doing this? And what's in that? Like, y'all.
And you can't look for nothing because every man that we have had on the show, they never give like a thing. It's almost like a lot of times we look for this thing. We know if we do X, Y, and Z, he will propose. Like there's a playbook to it, and it's no playbook to it. And that's why we constantly encourage you guys to ask questions, like, and I'm curious to know, and other things, like really get to know the individual. You cannot rely on shows, entertainment, books, anything. You got to deal with that person because are you like everybody else that he's seen before? Maybe, but probably not. And you got to take him the same way.
And I also think that women and men, but really women, need to do like a better job of understanding like what you're getting into when you're deciding to get married. Both parties, honestly. Because we don't, we were kind of talking about this before we started recording. Like, you don't really, there's no playbook to it. But you also are just thinking, when I hear women just be like, I just want to get married, it's like, but do you know what it entails? Like partnership. Like, what are you expecting from a partner? And everyone always assumes finances. I get that. Let's assume the finances are in order. There are so many other things that go into play to make a good partner. Are you family oriented? Are you going to try to connect people with their family? Or do you want like togetherness? Are you going to raise kids? Are you going to make time for the person you love? Will you be there when they're sick? And there are things that people don't think about that. And I'm like, we gotta think about that. You gotta be a good partner, ma'am, sir. You don't just get to be rich and then be like, well, and
I paid for everything that you got.
That's not how that goes. Just because you paid for everything, you don't have to help out as a father. You don't have to make sure that your girl is emotionally well. And the woman also, like if he's down bad, you're not just like, you need to be a man and get over and go back. No, like how do we care for each other? What does the household look like? And so I say all that to say I talk a lot. What is a good partner to you? What is a good partner for you? Like, how did y'all realize that in each other? Like, I got a good partner.
Okay, I'm gonna say as a man, and that's why I always tell young men in their early days, like, you know, find your purpose, stay on it, get yourself together, you know, get yourself situated where you can even be looking for a woman. Because if you ain't got nothing to take, not give her, but if you can't take care of her, you don't need to be out here looking for women. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, then that way that'll allow you, now let me see what I know about her. Let me get to know her. Because I know what I want in a woman. I know what kind of girl I want, but you got to be able to take care of that kind of woman. That woman that you want, different women come with different things. So the one that I want, I knew, like, okay, let me get to know her. All right, she beautiful, she fine. The skin color I like. She think the way I want her to think. She care about the things that I care about. Like I knew what I was looking for. So when I found her, I knew I hit the jackpot. So I'm saying that to say, like, start asking these questions. Get to know that about that man or that woman. Like I want to know, like, oh, what you care about this? What do you think about how many kids you want? Like, what do you want to where you see your life in 5 to 10 years? Like those kind of things. That's what I think. These questions need to start getting asked instead of just dating, laying up, the kid finna come, and then now you figure out this motherfucker crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
it always seems like when you get click locked
like,
in, now it's like everyone's crazy. How did we not know this? Are y'all not talking?
Because you was having fun. You was
Yeah.
having fun. You wasn't
Or making excuses for little things.
You gotta ask the real
distancing
shit.
yourself from other people
Yeah.
who might see it when you don't see it. Because you know how easy it is when you do really like somebody. You don't always see the little red flags or the yellow flags that's popping up. And other people see them. But if you're not around nobody, how you gonna know?
Right.
Yeah. And if you're not asking the questions, you
definitely won't know.
A lot of times, people not asking them hard questions when they just meet
Yeah.
people. They just dating, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm the vibing.
And
As you say.
sometimes it's asking the questions. I'll be asking a lot of questions, but sometimes it's also like paying attention to how somebody moves. Like, how do you handle certain things? How are you with your mother? How are you with your siblings? Like, how are you with children? I know one thing that's really important to me is like volunteering. Like, what do you do with your time when I'm not around? Like, what do you do to help people that's not a woman? How are we spending our time then? Like, paying attention
Somebody
to people's
not
habits.
even related to you.
Yeah, somebody not even related to you. Like, do you help? Are you kind?
Yeah.
Like, those types of things are really important.
What was big for me is like her relationship with her father. So her having a real man as a father, I knew she'll understand that she can handle that kind of man. She can respect that kind of man. She know the value in that kind of man because that's her dad. She see him. So when she coming across a man that, you know, moves similar or like it, is she understand it, you know, and that was big.
And when you say she understands it, do you mean like she understands like the traditional woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like she understand like how that man should be respected and taken care of.
And we're saying like she's gonna cook, she's gonna clean.
She's gonna clean, yeah.
We're taking care of kids.
She's gonna take care of the
I think that's
kids.
beautiful. I think sometimes nowadays when we talk about the traditions of like what a woman does, and everybody doesn't have to agree with it, I love it. I think it's like if that works in your relationship and that's how you know he needs to be loved and wants to be loved, do it. I want to make a plate for a man. I like feeling I got the plate, baby.
That's not negotiable. I didn't know that some women don't make their man plate. Like they just put the food on the stove and then he got to come get his food. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But one day,
That's got to be a clip.
so I'm always gonna make his plate. Like, I've never not made his plate. I remember one day we was at his mama's house and his mama cooked, but I still made his plate.
Yeah.
His brother was like, "Oh, you a good woman." And I'm thinking to myself, like, really? Like, is that big of a deal?
That's a big deal.
Another situation. We were at our house when we first bought our first condo.
Yeah.
One of our family members who was married, they were there with their wife. They stayed with us over the weekend.
Y'all starting arguments.
He
Why you ain't make my plate?
he talked to him after they left. He was like, "Man, the way you make Donay plate, man, she would never do that for me." And I'm like, "Really?"
And that's big to a man.
And I'm like, I didn't even know that it was a big deal.
Yeah, that's big.
I didn't know a man really felt like he needed that because it came so natural for me to do it. But I didn't know some women just flat out won't do it or feel like they don't have to. But like, I'm gonna cook the food. I'm gonna make the plate. I'm gonna clean up the dishes. All of that.
Why is it such a big? Why does that matter so much? The plate making.
It's just like a respect thing. It's just I don't know how to explain it for us. It's just like a
You feel
respect
like a king.
thing. Yeah, you feel not just like a king. You just feel like, I guess, like a king. You feel the man. She taking care of her man. Like she
That's
serving
his
you.
job.
Yeah,
Like,
that's her job. Yeah.
am I supposed to, like, it's just like if I said, okay, I want you to take out the trash, but I'm going to take it out the trash can, and then you're going to take out the bag. No, you're going to do the whole shebang. When I make the food, you should be able to sit down and get your food nicely.
And it's sexy. You know,
it should be nice,
yeah,
looking nice on the plate. You should have to come and get a spoon and put it onto the plate yourself. Like, that takes that's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Like,
Of
if
eating.
you go to a restaurant, do you want to make your plate? I don't like buffets. I'm not about to go to a buffet and be having to get the food. It's more, fun when I can sit down and have fun while somebody else is making my plate. It's a part of the experience. So he can't do his job and I can't do mine. But I did not realize that some women just don't naturally do that. But I saw my mama making my daddy plate. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it starts with what you experience as a kid and what you see. But it's funny because like some women, even though they might know now that even though I didn't see my parents do this is the way it should be done, they still like, I ain't doing that. What, girl, why not? What about all the stuff he got to do for you? Like you want him to have to do it, and you have to.
Wondering
true.
when that happens, is he doing it?
Is he doing
Because that's the flip side of it. Because a lot of times we see all of the red pill convos online, and the guys are saying all the things that we should do. Now, to be clear, I have no problem making a plate, cooking. I enjoy it. And like you said, you don't want the plate looking ugly. Yes, I done slaved over this meal, and I enjoyed that slaving. But I want it to all look nice. It's just a part of the experience, like you said. But sometimes I do wonder when people have these expectations for someone to do something, how do you treat the person? And maybe that's a moment for any man who's in a situation where his woman doesn't do that. How are you treating her? Do you show her respect? You want her to treat you like a king and this is your girl. Do you treat her like a queen? Do you show her respect? Do you show her appreciation? Are you kind? Do you ever do any of those things? So it's one thing when the man is doing that and you just feel like this woman is so unappreciative, borderline disrespectful, if it's not already disrespectful. But the other side is, hey, what are you doing?
Right. And it'll be also small
It's
things.
two-way street.
How you said like the plate making, it makes a man feel like a king. You feel like my woman takes care of me.
Yeah.
When you hear some of the conversations, and these are not internet conversations, I'll have these conversations at the gym with men, and hearing some of the young men talk about, I'm not holding every door. And it's like,
It's a door.
that's a
You walk
small
through it too.
gesture
Shit,
of chivalry. Like, that's the slightest thing. No, but we don't even talk about paying bills and taking care of financially. Opening a door, my nigga? Like,
Pulling
you
up
know-
the seat.
do you know how that small act, do you know how that makes a woman feel? When you go out with a man and he opens every door and you better not open one. That is a small gesture of like, wow, I feel like a
queen.
I feel
don't
like
have
a
to touch
queen. Like,
anything.
I feel like you care about my safety. You care about my well-being. Like, you got me. You might shoot a nigga.
Even if they are trash men, sometimes they will at least do that, and that's how you get all bamboozled and dickmatized. But
She said
you know,
bamboozled.
yes, bamboozled and dickmatized. I've been there too many times. That's how the show started. But that is a very
It's
good
true. It's like,
point.
we
do
need to
the
bring
things
back
like
the
that.
classic acts. There's nothing wrong with making the plate. It's nothing wrong with opening her door. Like, I'm just like, where are we headed? Like, why is everybody so like, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. Well, how?
It's almost like people are trying to not do too much or hurt somebody else before they get hurt. Everybody is so afraid of being hurt because some people haven't even been hurt yet. I promise you, it's not that bad. I mean, it's
not that
bad
bad.
in the
You'll be
moment,
fine.
but you'll be fine. You come out of it. Sometimes you look better, sometimes you don't, but you will still be alive. You know, it's fine.
It's just the small acts. I think it's important to talk about those things because there is nothing wrong with it. And I love when men talk about it because the men folk right now, for real, they need to hear it.
Well, I mean,
They out here
my
acting
wife, it ain't that I never want. I was so used to just, on my own time out here, single, moving around. I wasn't opening doors, so I wasn't used to it. But my wife, she
taught you.
She taught me on, walk on this side of the street. She got me hip
That
to
was the
all of
grace
that.
you extended him.
That was a great thing. See, the thing is, when if you know a man didn't come from that type of household,
You understand.
And you care about him enough.
Yes, you got to,
Because that's another part of relationships. Sometimes you do
sure.
have to have that. If you care about somebody enough, you are gonna try. You're gonna teach them the things.
Yeah, you supposed to.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why you need to walk on this side?
She like, babe, you supposed to be over here, open it, but it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. I'm like, I'm just so used to
even
move.
think about it.
I didn't
He used
even
to
know
go
it was.
places
Yeah.
and he'd be 5 steps ahead of me. I'd be like, bro, are you serious?
Slow down.
Slow down. Do you care where I am at right now? I could disappear. And you would not even know.
I get snatched
where I
up.
am.
Have you
I
seen me?
snatched up.
She
One day-
definitely was. I ain't said she
I
definitely
have
was
said
saying
that.
that.
I have literally, like, we have had long conversations about this. I remember one day we was at this concert.
Yeah.
No, play or something.
It was a
and it was
comedy-
set up
one
like
something like that,
It's set up like a symphony. You know how you got the levels of where you sit at, whatever. And he was sitting on the closest to the outside, so he got right on up and didn't turn around. This man had to help me down the steps. I was like, baby, are you serious? He walked so fast that I literally lost him in the crowd. I was so
That's an
fucking
argument
mad.
in the car.
Yeah.
That's an argument in the car. That's
When
one of them car
She was
arguments.
mad
Like,
at me. She was
when
mad
I
at me.
say, I was like, are you kidding me, bro? And this was early in our relationship. So I was like, really thinking to myself, do he not know no better or he just don't care?
No, I didn't.
Because I was
didn't
like,
know.
why would you leave me like that? To the point where I lose. I'm tall. I normally can see over everybody. I could not find him. I literally was like, oh my gosh, I can't find him. And it wasn't that I thought something was going to happen to me. It was more about the fact that he did that and he wasn't looking for me, but I'm looking for him. And so Girl, it's sometimes, especially when you start that young, we was in our 20s, sometimes you have to be willing to teach a man, you know, how you want to be treated. And you're right, so many women get caught up in this, he better come already like
Together.
checking off all
When
the
you're
boxes.
not even together.
Girl, you not even together.
I had this conversation with some girlfriends the other day. Everybody was like, hey, I'm not going to teach him, and he need to come like this, and he need to come like a man. And then I just stopped the conversation. I'm always playing the devil's advocate, and everybody's looking mad after I talk. And so I was like, well, wait a minute. I was like, now let's talk. You're talking about he needs to come as a man. Are you the full package as a woman?
Are you?
Are you? Like, are you gonna do the things that a man wants? And everybody was like, well, no, let's think about this. Everybody's not gonna come in a perfect package. Somebody is gonna be lacking somewhere.
Yeah.
And it might happen again if you stay together long enough. Like, we gotta be, you don't have to be fair, but look at yourself.
You gotta be real.
Yeah.
You gotta be
Real
real
with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and be honest.
And I think that's where so many women kind of, they lose out. They might miss their blessing because they don't realize that the man that's in front of you has potential. And it doesn't have to be money, but it might be the man has all the money in the world, but he doesn't necessarily know how to treat you. It don't mean that he can't get there. It just means that maybe he's never had a woman like you to really show him. Or maybe he don't really know how to love. Like, some men just don't know how to love. You got to show them. And I feel like that's why, for me, the connection you have with somebody, to me, it should be one of like chemistry and emotion, something you can't control. Because I feel like you can build on that. If they have all the other things you need, as far as like they match your fly, they match your hustle, they match what you want out of life, then y'all can grow together.
For sure.
Especially when you're young. Like, we got together in our 20s, and the man he is today, man, that young boy couldn't fuck with him. Like, that why he ain't gone, bro. He a triple OG now. So it's like he get better with time. Like, this man is literally like fine wine. I literally see him every day and be like, oh my gosh, you're so fine. Like, you look so much better than you did when you was younger. And back then, I thought you couldn't get no better. He used to have dreads. I used to be like, oh, don't ever cut your dreads. I love these dreads. Like, these dreads so sexy. He cut them dreads. I was like, damn. He looking like grown and
a whole
sexy.
new
It's a whole new
person.
person.
Yeah.
So, like, when you have somebody who is constantly evolving and growing, they motivate you to grow. So sometimes you got to help them grow, and then y'all can grow together.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you ever think that there's a point where somebody might see potential, but it's just like you're dreaming of some of this potential versus what is really there? Because sometimes we both know that men and women can see something in somebody, they like them for some reason, but this is not a match. This person is not going to change. What is something that you can say to that? Like, how could somebody prevent that, or what are some things to look out for?
Well, you can't really prevent it, but once you identify, get your ass out of there. Like, go, quit playing with yourself. You know what I mean? Go on, get out of there quick. It may hurt a little bit, but get going.
What are some things like that, though?
I think
Like
you can look at how
excuses.
somebody is going about, if they
That's-
said they have a goal.
they-
Sometimes I look at it, like, if someone
Like,
says,
even if they don't have no goals.
If they don't have any
That's why I
goals.
said,
Yeah,
like,
no goals, that's a red
I pay
flag.
attention to
You gotta
real
leave.
shit. Like, it's small shit. Like, why you didn't pay your car insurance? Like, that type of shit is like, it's other shit that.
Yeah.
Like, no car insurance. Oh, no, I'm getting away from her
I've
ass.
been paying attention to sometimes. Have you ever been, I know y'all ain't dated other people in a minute, but when you're talking to somebody and they say that there's something that they do, and then when you start getting to know them, you're like, I've never seen you run in the morning.
Yeah.
And you said you jog every morning. Or you
Because
said
then you're just a fucking liar.
I mean, you start looking, you're like,
He's a fucking liar. Exactly.
I ain't never seen you run, or
You
someone.
don't even have real sneakers. Everything is them chunky ass
And you start being
designer
like,
sneakers.
Yes. And somebody's like,
Right up
and somebody's like, I like to travel. As someone who truly does like to travel, if I haven't seen you take a trip in like a few months, whether it's for work or just, do you really like to travel? Or you
Where
just
have
went,
you been?
what are we
Your
doing?
dreams.
Let me see the passport. And it's not a judgment. It's just like, don't lie and trap somebody into something, and now you're mad when they're mad that you're not who you said you was.
Because a lot of people be just like, when they just meeting people, something, and dudes do it too a lot, man. They try to, like, in the beginning, like what the girl like, thinking that's gonna make her like her. No, bro, be you. Cause
Yeah.
that shit gonna be hard faking like that. You gotta remember, that's a lot of shit to remember, man.
You gotta be a full-time actor.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, it's like, just like there are red flags, there are green flags,
True.
right? So you pay attention to the signs, both good and bad. A good example is, so when we first reconnected, like I said earlier, we were chilling over a mutual friend's house, just having drinks. At the time, I had a boyfriend, so I wasn't trying to get him. When I saw him, I was like, oh, he's still so fine. But, we was just all having a good time, platonic friends, like 4 of us. And we went through a whole bottle of liquor. And I don't know why I volunteered, like, I go to the store and get some more liquor. Yeah. He instantly pulled out some money to give it to me. And I was like, I don't need you to buy a bottle of Grey Goose. Yeah. And he was like, here. I was like, no. And he was just like, keep your money. Like, what is it, $60? I don't know what it was, but I was looking at him like, this man just offered to buy me, to pay for the liquor. That's twofold. So I went and got the liquor. Later on, we talk about it. He was impressed by the fact that I rejected his money. I was impressed by the fact that he offered. Because I had been around some fuckboys who would have just been like, girl, go get the liquor. And he had been around girls that have been like, give me the money.
And give me interest on it.
Yes. So,
I need some gas money.
Yes, give me some gas money. Yeah. Like, so little things like that, we didn't even know later on that we both saw that as like a good sign, but that was just who we are.
Right.
I was just about to say, y'all are just being yourself.
Yes. It was other men in the room. He the only one that pulled out the money. And it's like, all the other men knew he was the one going to do it because he was always the one paying for everything. It was other women in the room. Nobody else offered to pay for it, but I'm always that girl. I'm the one always paying for everything. So that's the roles that we have always had in our life. We've always been, he was that nigga, I was that chick. Like, just to be honest with y'all, that's just the roles we've always played. And so I feel like you got to pick up on those little signs too.
I do.
Yeah.
I also think like this is something that a little sign that I picked up on the other day. Sometimes as a woman you have to bring certain things up to men, and when you don't have to bring it up, it's kind of like, okay, well maybe I could give you a shot. There's a guy that is interested in me. I'm gonna call him a man because he's a grown man. You ever deal with a grown man and you be like, oh, am I grown enough? Like,
It's been a long time. I done got old.
Yeah.
But yes.
And we don't live in the same state. And like we've known each other, but I never knew he was interested in me, and I was in a relationship. And so he was like, I would love for you to come out to my city. He already off the top of his head was like, and I'm gonna get you your own hotel room. I don't want you to feel like you gotta stay with me or I need to stay with you. And that was such a it was a breath of fresh air, because a lot of the time, sometimes as a woman, you're like, okay, if I get my own room, are you gonna think I don't think you're a man, that I didn't ask you to get it? Should I ask you to get it? If I asked you to get it, is it rude? Because you find, it was just it's a lot of thoughts and moving pieces. And I'm like, I really don't want to stay in the same room as you. I wanted to just be like, I come, we see each other, but we're not spending the night together. And I was very clear on that. And the fact that he had said it first, I was like, this is nice. Yeah. This is so nice. I think that if people understood that if you do a little bit more before you get the girl, you get so much more out of a person. Yeah. Be kind and care about.
And considerate.
Like, women, even if you're not like a predator, we still have this. If I don't know you, you gotta understand.
That just shows.
Women get uncomfortable. You just don't know what to expect. And I just love when a man knows that. And it's like, listen, whatever makes you comfortable. That's attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be, that's dope. Like, you let him know he handling this bit. That's a good dude.
Yeah.
That's a good dude. Yeah. It's character. You should pay attention
Character.
to that.
That's pay attention to somebody's character.
People gonna show you their character, y'all. You gotta be paying attention. Yeah. So just like you got the red flags, you got the green ones. They mean go.
And just like y'all said earlier, like, you gotta pay attention to not only how they are with you, but how are they with anyone else. Because somebody can be amazing to you, but then once you see them around their friends, if they even got them, friends, family, co-workers, business partners, anything like that, when you see people in different environments, that's a really important part of life. And that's something I have learned to pay a lot more attention to. And I'm just very leery of anybody who doesn't really have other people outside. Like, if they have a job, it's like your work people and whoever you're dating. Or if you don't have a job and maybe you're an entrepreneur, your business partners and whoever you're dating. If that's it, it's a red flag for me. Because, like, what else is going on? Unless you have kids or like something else that should be taken. Because what do you do all day? It seems like you terrorize women. That's immediately where my mind goes. Like, so I mean, I don't know. I need to stop watching Dateline before I go to bed. But I'm just saying, y'all should think about that too. Like, how are they with the other people in their lives, and consider that.
I was having a conversation on Instagram the other day with myself. It was just a video, and the people in the comments
are the best sometimes.
Some of the men, it'd be the men folk. I'm sorry. And they were just going in like, y'all make dating so hard. It shouldn't be this difficult. Yes, it should. Yes, it should, because you should be getting to know someone.
But what's difficult?
I think some people just don't want to answer questions. Some people don't want you to know who they are. Some people don't want you to have any type of expectation, any type of moral, any type of anything for yourself. And it's like, no, when you decide to get into like a real relationship with somebody and the aspiration is marriage, that is such a huge adult step. We just talked about it this whole episode. You don't know what you're gonna go through with somebody. So try to get as much information as you can beforehand. It should be a little bit difficult. Yes, we should have fun, but if it starts to get serious, I guess I'm just getting old now. It's like I've been through the phase of like, we fucking out. And now it's like, when you're like, so much can happen here. I'm just so, thank you, God.
Real
that I don't
life
have no baby.
decisions.
Yeah, like there are people that are trapped with niggas that you just fucked one night. And that's your child's father. And like, forever.
You can't get rid of them.
I would
Even
die.
though he's barely there, it's just like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, you need to take it a little more seriously, because I don't want that to happen.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean?
I know that's right. You gotta
Have
be
me wearing a
intentional,
chastity
man.
belt.
You gotta
Yeah.
be intentional about who you spend your time with.
I was
agree.
listening to this podcast the other day, and the man talked about what makes a life rich, and money was at the very end. It wasn't one of at the top of the thing. Obviously, you need money to live.
Yeah.
But he talked about how one of the most important things about a rich life is your relationships. Who you spend the time, what type of people are you spending your time with?
Yes.
And look at those relationships, and that'll tell you a lot about where your life is headed, how you feel about yourself, and just overall, like the aura that you exude.
Yeah.
Pay attention who you're around, and pay attention.
Yes.
Got you. I definitely will say at my lowest points in life thus far, when I look back now that I'm on the other side of it, most times when it took what I feel like was too long to get through it, I did not have a lot of good people that I was talking to. The good people who I was still connected to or attached to, I had either distanced myself from them or they had distanced themselves from me because maybe of how I was acting. And it's just so different when you are happy and everything and looking at your circle versus when you are unhappy, stuck, stagnant, any of those things. It's very different. Y'all gotta pay attention now.
Yeah, pay attention. Okay, we're gonna move on to Indecisive Diane, and when we come back, we have some advice that our good friends from Love and Fly Shit podcast gonna help us answer.
It's time for us to talk about the great people over at LifeRx. You guys, this has been such an interesting and life-changing experience. There's tons of things out there. I'm sure if you're online, there's so much stuff coming at you every day about what to eat, how to cut back, how to do all of these things. It can be overwhelming if you're anything like me. LifeRx is going to take the guesswork out of so much of trying to achieve whatever health goals you have. We've talked a lot about losing weight and maintaining a healthy weight, eating habits and things like that. It's not limited to that. They have things for hair loss. I think that there are things, if you don't need to lose it, you might want to gain. Just having better habits, healthier habits, and taking control of your overall health. LifeRx has something for you. And I just think it's really important that we reiterate that, because we all have things that we want to work on and maybe you don't know where to start. This is a great place to start. You're not going to be left alone. They have medical professionals and they are going to get you where you want to go.
They are. I feel like this was the first year where I really was like intentionally ready for the summer as far as like body goes. I was like, okay, I lost my little weight. I'm eating right, skin is popping, and LifeRx really helped me with that. I've been telling so many people about it. When I get the compliments, I'm like, okay, let me tell y'all my little cocktail of things that I do. Working out, LifeRx, eating right, making sure I plan out my snacks. And I do that intentionally because of the program that I'm on with LifeRx, the pill that I take. I can never pronounce it right, but it does suppress my appetite. But I want to make sure I am still getting the nutrients. So I'm not going to just go like eat a bag of chips and then be full and like, but you ain't, you didn't get what you needed.
You're eating to live instead of living to eat.
Right. And so it feels good to look good. You should be healthy. And those things just add to like a better quality of life. no matter what you might be going through. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't have control over certain things, but you do have control over your health. Like, and so I think it's important that you take a stance towards it. If you have a friend that's, complaining about losing weight, it's just that stubborn fat, be like, hey girl, have you ever thought about using LifeRx? Sometimes we all need a little help. Just like sometimes you're not right up here, you need a little therapy, you need a little help. You need a little help. And it is totally fine. So maybe you didn't get right for the summer. Get wintertime fine. Inside and out. I take my little B12 shots for my energy every 3 days. And I love also that if you have an issue with an order, you can easily get on the phone and talk to someone so that they can correct it. You do your check-ins. It's just an awesome brand, an awesome company with an amazing product. So make sure you guys check it out. Go to liferx.com. Use code
.md.
liferx.md. Use code CockTales and you get $50 off. And if you decide you want to stop, you can stop. But I don't think you will.
Yeah, you won't. No contract. So join us. Join the LifeRx gang and tell them we sent you. And now we'll get back to the show.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane, coming with you with another trip suggestion. Okay, so maybe you want to get a little nasty with your bae, or solo. Go try some Voyager experiences and watch a little nasty in Jamaica. Well, make sure you book the Worst Behavior Tour in December with Kiki Said So. Tell her I sent you. Have a good time and wrap it up. Bye.
We are back and it's time for the advice. If you have a question that you would like to ask us on the show, make sure you email us advice@cocktailspod.com. Okay, so this one says, hey Kiki and Medinah, so I just got married about 8 months ago. We had a big, beautiful wedding and honestly, my husband is amazing. He's thoughtful, funny, and we rarely argue. The problem is I didn't expect to feel single life FOMO this soon. It's not that I want to cheat or anything like that, but sometimes when I see my single friends out traveling, brunching, and dating, I feel like I jumped into the grown-up married lane too early. On top of that, some of my friendships have shifted. My single girlfriends say I act married now and don't invite me out as much, but my husband's friends want us to double date all the time, and I feel caught in between. I love my husband, but sometimes I feel like I lost a little piece of myself when I said I do. My questions are, she got 3. Is it normal to feel like this so soon into marriage? It's been 8 months. How do I balance wanting to be a good wife without feeling like I've given up my single self? And should I talk to my husband about it or keep it to myself so he doesn't think I'm ungrateful? Please help before I spiral. Signed, blushing but confused bride.
That's honest. That baby said, what do I do? What did I do?
That's honest, but yeah, she need to go to therapy. Yeah, that's what she need.
He said we can't help.
We're not doing none of this extra shit.
You already having even a feeling about something different than your husband. It's 8 months in. It's still fresh. You can't figure out between if you should be kicking it with your girlfriends. You married now. You in a whole nother life now. You got to let them go. They still your friends, but if they not doing things that you can do as a married woman, which is not that much because they still single, kicking it and brunching, you gotta let them go. And if you already jumped the broom and ain't figured that out, you doomed. You need to go to therapy.
No, wait, we can't go to brunch.
Right, I was gonna say, wait.
I'm saying, no, you could go to brunch, but she said they brunching and kicking it.
Okay,
she
gotta be a
missing.
civilized brunch.
Civilized brunch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can go with your single friends, do whatever you want, but I'm saying if you can't understand that you married now and you can see the difference and you can't really rock with them like that, I mean, that's even for a man or a woman. You gotta kind of cut that off a little bit because it's dangerous for you to be out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kicking it with your single friends, brunching and drinking and.
Who said brunching? Okay, brunch is just in the
it's
daytime,
dangerous?
baby.
I mean, brunching is like a party.
Atlanta.
A brunching is that's a
I think
party.
it depends on the person though. Like if she's saying I'm not thinking about cheating, she missed her friend. I'm wondering, girl, what you be doing that your friends are like, you act so married now? Are you a reform hoe and now you
That's what I'm
like change
saying.
and they're expecting that? Or are you always talking about married stuff and like putting your friends down for how they're acting when they're not married? Because that's the other side that it could be. You could be very condescending, self-righteous even. And so maybe you got to check your attitude. You getting invited out. What's wrong with his friends? Because his friends said that they could double date.
She doesn't want to just go on double dates.
She don't want to do that.
She just wanna be
She
out.
want to go with her partner. There's something else exciting on that side she want to do.
Maybe y'all aren't having fun.
Yeah. Because why y'all ain't doing shit?
Yeah, 8 months.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I'd rather hang out with him than hang out with my friends any day, or all of us together, like what they made. That's why I've heard a lot of married couples say that you have to hang out with other married couples because, first of all, honestly, I don't believe a married woman could just be hanging out with a whole bunch of single girls. At some point, y'all going out, y'all gonna get the attention of another group of guys. You shouldn't even be in that room with them, in that circle, in that section, whatever you want to call it. Them guys start coming over and flirting with everybody. Like it's just disrespectful. I feel like if you're doing it all the time. Now if it's somebody's birthday or something like that, that's different. Yeah, but if it's like y'all just going out every weekend, no. That's why a lot of birds of a feather flock together. Like a lot of married couples that we've talked to on our podcast say they had to have discernment with who they have in their life, and most of the time it's like-minded people or couples that are.
It goes back to the relationships.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of married people, if you're not around other healthy married people, everybody cheating.
Yeah.
The man cheating, you're not checking your friend because he cheating on it's like you
Or-
gotta.
Or what about the single people who are single, but they respect y'all's union? They respect the institute of marriage itself, and they're not the wild friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are those people
we've had
safe,
those
or you
too.
still feel like this?
No,
bitch single?
no. It's
Don't
just
go out with
type,
her.
it depends on type. You know how you have some girls that when y'all go out, she gonna be on her whole shit.
Yeah.
You know, she finna be smiling in all these guys' face.
We don't need the Uber XL on the way back because she's not riding. She's going
Exactly.
with somebody else we already know.
Yeah, no, you know what it is.
Yeah.
And
But do you ever think that was difficult? I feel like men don't really care, but like for women, when you have to transition into like married life and it's kind of like you distance yourself a little bit. Do you think that's hard or sad or like any of your girlfriends that are like, girl, we haven't seen you?
For me, it came natural. It wasn't hard or sad at all.
Okay.
It was like, this my man.
Yeah,
we didn't moved around. Like we're not from Atlanta. We're from St. Louis. So this was my friend that I was doing all the fun stuff with. Before we got married, we was taking random trips to Miami. We kicked it. We was kicking it hard.
Like
we didn't really stop kicking until we had kids. And then even then, when we do get a chance to get away, like we go hard. So no, I would rather go with him. Like, and then when I go with him, I ain't gotta think. Like,
We have talked about that a lot, like being able to turn your brain off when you with a man. That's the little thing that I wish more men would tap into.
It ain't even about the money. It's just about the fact that I don't have to handle nothing. It's just like, where we going?
Sorry,
I mean, I ain't even gotta ask. Like, I'm just in the car. Like, I want to just be in the car riding. I want to be with a bunch of girls that I gotta look out for. And I'm that super overprotective friend. Like, I'm the one that's like I'm watching everybody.
Head on a swivel.
Yeah, that's my head is on a swivel. I'm a Leo, so I'm naturally protective. I'm that person. So when I'm with him, I don't have to be that. Like I get to be a girl.
Does that make you feel good to hear her say that?
Oh yeah.
I bet. That's like
It's like, that's what I was trying to do. I'm glad she sees.
I did it. I did it. That's dope. I love it. Okay, do we answer all of her questions?
How do I balance wanting to be a good wife without feeling like I've given up on my single self? And should she talk to her husband about it?
For sure, yeah.
And what should she say?
Exactly what she feels.
Exactly
you
what
gotta
she
be honest.
feel.
Ain't no beating around the bush. He needs to know.
He needs to know so he can make his decision.
Or so they could work on it. Because maybe he's boring and he needs to.
But that's the decision
That's
he needs to
probably
make
the
to
problem.
liven
That
up
is
the
probably the problem.
relationship.
Yeah. Probably the problem.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, girl. Write us back and let us know how it goes. Hopefully, in the end of this, y'all start having fun, taking trips, doing the things, whatever it is you want to do. Going to brunch. Maybe your friends can come, and you can send us a cocktail next time.
Yeah, we hope it works out.
Yeah. So again, if you guys want to ask us a question, it's advice@cocktailspod.com. And now it's time for us to move on to the cocktails. have a cocktail that you maybe want us to read on the show, make sure you send it in cocktails@cocktailspod.com. That's CockTales. All right, you guys, do y'all have a cocktail for us today?
This is the story that you shared that is, you can either share separate ones or y'all can share a combined one. Maybe how he proposed, maybe y'all's first date, maybe the last date, maybe if y'all ever had a threesome.
Shoot.
What kind of wild story you got, baby?
Wow story.
And it doesn't have to be wild.
It
Or it can be embarrassing,
It can be
funny,
embarrassing, romantic, rich.
sweet.
Yeah, sweet.
But you got what?
No, you go ahead. You got
Wait,
one.
Like, I don't know what I can say.
Yeah, I'm following you. Yeah, go
What you
ahead.
got?
Yeah, go ahead. You got it. I'm following your lead.
I feel like y'all got a
I
combined.
like how much of a team y'all are about this.
Yeah. Because she's like, well, hold on now.
Hold on.
It could be adventurous, sporadic, random.
A good surprise that either one of you did for the other. I love a good surprise
I
story.
love a good surprise.
Well, I say when you like my partner came in town one time. It was my birthday. We finna go out. Me and my partner was finna go out and kick it hard for my birthday. He had clubs planned out, all kind of things. She just surprised me with plane tickets to New York to a Jay-Z concert.
Ooh.
We was on the floor.
Ooh.
Man, we hit some fine restaurants. I can't even think of all the places we went. Strip club.
He fell asleep in the
Fell
strip
asleep
club.
in the strip club. Fell asleep
Been there
in the
before.
cab. Man, it was a good night, man. That was probably one of the. It was my birthday, but that was like my best. Like that was a.
And she surprised you with all those
it
things.
was like
Yeah,
one of the
it was.
best.
We was in our
Yeah.
20s. He had never even been to New York.
I had never been to
So
New
I
York.
just
Wow.
Didn't know I was going. Had my partner. We finna go kick it. I had the whole weekend planning what we was finna do, and she surprised me, baby. That was big to me.
Oh.
Yeah, that was real big to me.
What your partner say? He's
I
like,
told his
damn.
ass he gotta go home. I'm like, bro, I'm going to New York in the morning. That shit we was finna do, we ain't doing it. He like, damn, bro, hey, go home, man.
I can tell you. So that brings me to what I can think of that was a super sweet kind of surprise.
Okay.
It was my birthday. This was before that though.
Okay.
This is when we were in Chicago, but
Okay.
he was out of town for like a week or two before my birthday, and he came back in town on my birthday. And so when they be gone that long, the first thing you gonna do when he hit that door is take them clothes off. It's time to get it on. I was so excited to see him. Oh, baby, come here. And so, we laying in the bed, and he was like, you didn't even notice he gave me a birthday present. It was a bag. He gave me a handbag, and it was so cute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to it. So we laying in the bed, we kissing, hugging. He was like, you didn't even notice my other birthday present. And I was like, what is it? And I looked at him, and I was like, what is it? And I just looked at him, and all of a sudden I noticed that he had gotten my name tatted on his chest.
I knew it was going to be a tattoo.
Yes. In red. Oh my. He's covered. He's fully covered from here on to here. His arms, everything, but all his other tattoos are black. And my name was in red on his heart.
Red, so you know it's real.
Yeah.
Were y'all already married?
No,
No, we
we weren't even
married,
engaged
no.
yet. This was before we even got engaged.
Oh my
love
God. Did you cry?
I don't know. Did I cry? I think I was just too happy.
I think you
Like,
just
I don't
happy.
think I cried.
Yeah,
I think I
you
was like, oh
rubbing
my
it,
gosh,
calling
oh my gosh.
people, yeah.
He definitely got some extra hair that night.
He's
Oh my
better.
gosh.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to do that. It was like so unexpected. Like we had never talked about getting our names tattooed on each other.
Yeah.
Sure enough, after that, I went and got his name tattooed on me. He got my name on his heart right here, but I went and got like Donay all the way up the side. It goes from here.
Y'all are not
I ain't
playing.
going
It's literally from
nowhere.
here. And this is all before we got married. Before
Yeah,
we
this
were
is all
even
before we got
engaged.
married.
So we've been locked in.
We've been like
We've been
Y'all
locked
better
in.
have
Clean,
been.
clean.
Yes, we've
Yeah.
been locked in.
Wow.
So that was a sweet story.
Yeah.
And, we had some good sex.
Tat it up.
Yes.
Tat. Y'all make people feel special on their birthdays.
Yeah.
Like
You want to sit by somebody, y'all just keep cheesing at each other.
Yeah.
All day.
And honestly, even if your person is like, you don't have to do anything. If your man is like, you don't have to give me nothing, do something for the
still do
man.
something.
Like, if you need ideas, please slide in my DMs. I have a ton of them that I've done for several men. I'll give you all the links and all the things. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us. It was so refreshing to have happy marriage, smiling. Y'all couldn't stop looking at each other. Thank you so much for joining us.
Fake.
Let everybody know where they can keep up, what you got coming up, Instagrams, websites, anything you want to plug right now.
Yes, so you can follow us on Instagram. Mine is Jenna.Nia. That's JENNA.NIA.
And I'm Stacks with a Z, SMM.
And also, of course, follow our podcast, Love and Fly Shit, where we talk all things love and fly shit. We tell you our love story. We got more stories, y'all. It's been a long time. And we've also interviewed a lot of other couples and singles who shared their love stories, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly. And that Instagram is at Love and Fly Shit without the I. YouTube, Love and Fly Shit. Everything is Love and Fly Shit. TikTok, Love and Fly Shit without the I. But thank y'all so much for having us. This is amazing. Y'all had some amazing questions.
Some good questions.
Love this collab. We gon' reverse it. They gonna chill with us on Love and Fly Shit. We working on it, y'all. And we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all. We have some gifts for y'all. We'll give it to you when the cameras close. You got anything else to say, Kiki?
No, that's it. I just want to make sure that you guys remember, check the description box because we do have other things going on, but we didn't want to cut them off. So it's in the description box. Click the link. Don't DM us if the link is there. And follow us at CockTales Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean Dean.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.